another beautiful morning. Thanks for joining us on today's edition of Prime Flash. Shock and consternation have gripped the population of Lokbaba Douala 3 subdivision after the corpse of a 2-year-old girl was found beside a dustbin at Dépôt de Planche in the neighborhood this Thursday, December 23, 2021. According to eyewitness, a woman, supposedly the mother of the toddler, threw her outside the car that was on the move. Further investigation has revealed that the little girl's organs were removed, her neck slit before she was dumped. Informed of the situation, elderly persons and elements of the 3rd Police District have opened an investigation to trace the perpetrator of this act. Cameroon has unveiled a final group of players to take part in the Continental Football Tournament come January 9, 2022. The roster is made up of 28 players. Some major changes at the goalkeeping have been made. 3 other goalies, AS Vita Club Simon Omosola, Epasi Davis and Efala Kamgweb of Aqua United are set to accompany Andre Onana at the attack line. Carl Toko Ekambi, Jay Clinton, who was out of sight for a long period of time, equally makes up his way in the attack line. The governor of the West region, Awafonka Augustine, was on the field to assess recently to sensitize the population on hygiene and sanitation. The campaign is in prelude to the upcoming Africa Cup of Nations. Details with Joy Ngong.
West Regional Governor Awafonka Augustine personally led the sensitization campaign to reinforce hygiene and sanitation in the city of Bafoussam on the 21st of December 2021 ahead of the African Cup of Nations.
We've gone out this morning to see the state of affairs in the domain of hygiene and sanitation, and I'd like to let you know that we are very satisfied. The groundwork has been carried out by the administrative authorities, the prefect, sous-prefect, the mayor of the town and the municipal authorities, as well as Izaka. Everybody is on deck, and we realized that the population have finally understood that hygiene and sanitation is a business of everybody.
The campaign team, which equally comprised of other local administrative authorities in the likes of the senior divisional officer for the MIFI and the city mayor, issued on-site warnings to institutions that have not been rehabilitated. According to the local administrative authorities, the hygiene and sanitation exercise will henceforth be permanent in the West region, of course, with the support of the population. At the end of the hygiene and sanitation sensitization campaign, Governor Awafonka Augustine expressed satisfaction regarding the outcome of the exercise and the collaboration of the inhabitants of the West region.
The traffic in Bafoussam today, the traffic flow is very good. Equally, people have left the sidewalks, and so people are carrying out their activities, and I think we are ready for the AFCON competition, and we're very delighted with the outcome.
The governor calls on the Bafoussam city dwellers to put all hands on deck in the maintenance of good sanitary conditions and make Bafoussam pleasant for everyone.
7 persons accused of breaking into homes and making away with property in Kongsamba are currently under custody at the research unit of the National Gendarmerie in Kongsamba Littoral Region. They were presented to the press recently. Fon Quinta on this report.
Catched by elements of the National Gendarmerie in Kongsamba, Mungo Division of the Littoral Region. This time 7 alleged bandits accused of burgling homes of residents and making away with property and money are currently gnashing their teeth behind bars at the research unit of the National Gendarmerie in Kongsamba. For 3 days, the elements of the research unit in Kongsamba launched a search operation leading to the arrest of the 7 suspects.
En réalité, tout est parti d'une plainte où une dame se plaignait avoir perdu
It all started when a lady complained about missing building materials she bought. With the information and in collaboration with the research unit commander, we launched an operation leading to the arrest of these bandits. The suspects, aged between 21 to 34 years, were presented to the population alongside items they have stolen from the residents and those who purchased the stolen items. The arrest of these 7 bandits come as a relief, as denizens are confident end-of-year festivities will be hitch-free and banditry will be a thing of the past.
Tout ce qu'on a arrêté là, ça me plaît beaucoup. Ça me plaît beaucoup, ça me plaît beaucoup. Parce que
while investigations have been opened to retrieve all stolen items, which will be handed to the owners after identification, the population have been called to collaborate with law enforcement officials in the town of Kongsumba.
A caravan has been organized in Gaundal, a locality in Gaundere, Adamawa region of the country, by a health check project to reduce maternal and neonatal mortality in Cameroon. The motorized caravan was organized in the locality under the supervision of the divisional officer Umaru Zulde Katrine Ekongwe.
The Health Check Project for the Adamawa region has organized a motorized training and caravan in Gaunda, a locality in Gaundere, to inform and raise awareness of the benefits of the project. The Health Check has been contributing for several years to reduce maternal and neonatal mortality in Cameroon. In the region of Adamawa, the districts of Jonghong and Gaunda have been enlisted in this project. The population of Gaunda is lucky to be eligible to this project to reduce maternal and neonatal mortality in Cameroon due to the upsurge in infant mortality rate in the area. Following the training of various actors and stakeholders in the project chain have marked its official launch in Gaunda, a motorized caravan was organized through the locality under the supervision of the divisional officer. According to the project marketing and communication manager, is to sensitize pregnant women who will now have to use the health check to care for themselves and their unborn babies.
All the pregnant women can have a resuscitation reference from the community to the health center, and maybe to the health center to the district hospital or reference hospital, so that she will have the best attention due to what she needs.
One could see this survey in all the different streets of the city. Some pregnant women they met in Gaunda could testify. Note should be taken that since the advent of the Health Check project in May 2014, cases of death during delivery has decreased in the northern part of Cameroon.
The Bamenda City Council will, in the year 2022, operate with a budget of 4.3 billion with plans towards development, fight waste management. This was disclosed by Bamenda City Mayor Paul Achombang Tembang after the budgetary session recently. Charles Kibo.
The Bamenda City Council will in the year 2022 operate with a budget of over 4.3 billion FCFE. This was disclosed during the Bamenda City Council budgetary session December 21st, 2021 to adopt the 2022 budget of the Bamenda City Council that took place at the Pakuvita Hall. The Bamenda City Council budget, which stands at 4.3 billion FCFA, witnessing a decrease of 389 million, experiencing a significant drop of 8.4%.
In result, we can assure you that the government of Cameroon has approved of the 30-meter width of the road. We can equally assure the population that the director of the World Bank has no objection anymore, and the only reconciliatory part which we have is in the accounting of funds for an initially provided 16-meter road to now a 30-meter wide road. So those things are virtually done, and we can be comforted that the work will start.
The over 4.3 billion adopted by the councillors of the Bamenda City Council with plans towards development, the city will also fight waste, acquire smart detectors, combat fire in markets after several fire incidents are reported across the city of Bamenda. Mayor Paul Achomong-Temben made a declaration to the press after the budgetary session on plans for the resumption of works on the Bamenda City pothole roads, affirmed the World Bank has approved the 30 meters wide of the Bamenda City roads from the initial 16 meters wide the City Council proposed.
The budget has experienced a significant drop in the value of 8.4%. To me, I think we got to do things that are realistic. It is not comfortable for us to have a budget of 100% and we are unable to realize it. So we want to see what we can do. And that is why we've made a budget for 8.4% drop so as to make sure that this time next year we will be showing proof of what has been done.
With a reconciliatory plan for the city where all the citizens of the city will reconcile with each other, the Bamenda City Mayor Paul Achomong called it a turning point. The inhabitants of Bamenda await to see project earmarked by the City Council for 2022 see the light of the day.
Legendary Cameroonian Bikutsi icon Nkodo Sidoni, who passed away on December 21 at the reference hospital, has left grief in the hearts of many Cameroonians and fans. Eileen Sama in this report profiles the artist.
The death of Kodo Sitobi Francois, known by many as Kodo Sitoni, sent shock waves across the national territory on Tuesday, December 21, 2021, when it was announced. The legend gave up the ghost following a protracted illness at the Yaoundé Reference Hospital at the age of 62. Kodo Sitoni was born on the 25th of August 1959 at New Belle, Douala, as the first child to a family of 7 children. He fell in love with music at a very tender age and would skip school to indulge in music alongside his peers, who usually go to watch the black stylist play, and was carried away by performances of other Makossa artists like Dina Bell, Coty Francois, Emile Kange, Guy Lobert, Johnny Black, Ben Deka, among others. The multi-talented artist started with a homemade guitar and later learned how to play other instruments like balafon, mvet, and bass. The great guitarist Kodo Sitoni also invested in working on his powerful voice and was seduced by Makossa while growing up in Douala, and was supervised by Ebwa Lawton as he took his first steps in music with the genre Makossa. In 1977, his father, a cocoa farmer and football referee, sent him to cash a check, but Kodo Sitoni makes away with the money and decides to go on a musical adventure in Nigeria, where he explored high life, Afrobeat, Juju music, and others. He released his first album in 1979 called Anastasia. In the early 1980s, he returned to Cameroon and founded his first group, Les Africains d'Angola. In 1986, he released an album titled 90 Degrees of Bikutsi, and in 1988 was crowned Artist of the Year, while his album was crowned Gold Disc of the Year in 1988 and 1990. Years later, his spiritual father, Mungo Fire, treated the legend of a mystical illness called Musong, which almost claimed his life. Kodo Sitoni later left Cameroon and performed in a reggae group in Germany before moving to France. His hit songs included Mba Voe, Ndolo Ibe and Ngwa Ozum. He will be greatly remembered for his unique style of always promoting the Cameroonian culture in all his songs. He leaves behind his family and Cameroonians to mourn him.
Cameroon is officially declared to host the AFCON 2021 come January 9, 2022. The information was disclosed after a meeting between CAF President and the President of Cameroon, President Paul Biya. Details with Dolingonde.
After visiting key areas enabling the hosting of the upcoming African Cup of Nations, the President of the Confederation of African Football, Patrice Motsepe, now reassures Africans in the world at large that Cameroon is apt and ready to host the biggest football tournament in the continent, following a meeting with President Paul Biya of Cameroon.
I'm coming to watch on the 9th, Cameroon and Burkina Faso. And I'll also be around to wait and see when the trophy is handed over. Eto said to me he's got some idea who's going to win. and the president of Senegal said to me he's got some idea of who's going to win.
On his part, the President of the Republic of Cameroon has confirmed the country would continue preparations to meet up with the set date as planned. However, the CAF President added that the main challenge will be the measures to fight the Omicron variant of COVID-19, as he reiterates the need for all to be responsible.
So we have said nobody will be allowed into the stadium without a PCR test, because we have to protect. Those spectators will be there. And of course, there's a concern that there'll be lots of fake tests going around. We are dealing with those issues because I will be getting a report after the AFCON.
Nonetheless, the President of CAF, Patrice Motsepe, is still calling on Cameroonians and Africans to be confident in one another.
We must all work together, and we must all make sure that we engage and advance the interests of our people. Today it's about football because we love football and we're passionate about football. And we want to work with the rest of the world. We want to work with Europe, China, America, and the rest of the world. But we do recognize that we've got an absolutely fundamental obligation to develop and grow our continent. And in the context of football, as I've said, to make African football amongst the best in the world. We have to have confidence and believe in ourselves as Africans. And we have to have confidence and believe in ourselves that we can host a very successful AFCON 2021 in Cameroon that will make the people of Cameroon proud.
By the end of the day, the team has left Cameroon satisfactory, hoping to return come January 7th, 2022, 2 days to the biggest event in the African continent.
Out of the country, Nigeria has destroyed over 1 million doses of AstraZeneca vaccines AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccines. The expired doses were destroyed on December 22 at a landfill in Nigeria's capital, Abuja, a week after the nation said it will no longer accept donated COVID-19 vaccines with short shelf lives. According to the head of Nigerian National Primary Health Care Development Agency, Faisal Shuaib accepted the donations with the intention of protecting its citizens, but later released that some doses had nearly reached its expiry date, stating that some of the vaccines came in with shelf lives of about 4 weeks. In Guinea, Musa Camara, the man who led a 2008 coup, has returned to Guinea-Conakry after more than a decade in exile. Musa Camara arrived Wednesday, December 22, on a commercial flight to Conakry. The 57-year-old former coup leader took exile in Burkina Faso after he survived an assassination attempt carried out by one of his bodyguards in 2009. Guinea's elected president had long sought to block Camara's return, fearing it could stoke political turmoil. But with Alpha Condé ousted from power in September coup, Guinea's new military junta in power then allowed Camara's return. His time in power was marked by a stadium massacre that left at least 157 people dead. That was it for today's edition of Prime Flash, produced by Junior Pelame. Thanks for watching, faithful viewers. You have stories or more stories in our 6:30 p.m. Prime News with Fon Quinta. Coming up next is In the House with Eileen Sama and her ladies. Have a nice time.